Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, so today we are showing you how to take better photos and videos with your Galaxy Z Flip 5. Now this phone is absolutely amazing, but it doesn't come perfect out of the box for taking photos and videos. So I'm going to show you just how to do it. Let's go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, I want you to know that you can double click the power button to be able to quickly launch your camera from any screen. I have reset the camera so it's on wake up. So basically, first thing you can do, turn on your location tags, and now you are ready to go. Now, when you first get this phone, the main thing you're going to want to do to quickly update your photo quality to make it much better is just a simple change. So normally when you take a photo like this, you can go ahead and take it, boom, boom, simple and easy. But what you're going to find out is most photos on this phone, as well as a lot of other Samsungs and iPhones, tend to be a little bit brighter than they could be. So you see this little sun icon pop up right here? We're going to slightly adjust that to be a little bit lower with most photos and videos we take, and that will already improve the quality. So we're just going to lower it a little bit, not that much, but you're going to see a world of difference in this. So definitely wash out around this area. I mean, you can see it's just completely, it was too bright at taking the photo from what it really should have been. Everything is a little bit lighter, not as much depth. Bam, look at even the wood right here, just immediately noticeable difference. And then all the black is actually much better looking as well. It just pops a lot better. This is a lot more controlled than this one is, where it just kind of blends in the red button. This one you can see a little bit more distinguishment and just overall a much better shot. You can read the letters a lot more clearly, especially just because the black is a little bit better under control and not as bright. So this is going to be really good to show off. So I would definitely start off with just honestly doing this one step for all your photos and videos will do so much better. So that's your first one. Second thing you're going to want to know is that you can actually hold this down. And if you do, you jump right into a video. But not only that, you can actually swipe up. Bam, now you're in full video mode. This is a newer feature that was not on previous Samsungs. And the great part about it is now you have full video functionality instead of like a little short video or not being able to pause it or take a photo or change cameras between the video when needing to do a video so quickly. So this is awesome. Definitely great just to be able to quickly pause it, then set up another shot and then start recording again. Very easy. And also just switching between the cameras. Really nice that you have this ability now, which you previously didn't. All right, then to switch between the cameras, you can just go like this. You can also go 2x and 4x. You can go all the way up to 10, but as you can see already, look, the detail, it gets kind of muddy the closer you zoom in. So I would recommend going 2x and 4x for most people, and wouldn't go much further than that if you need to zoom. From there, we're gonna start to knock out all these at the top, and the first things you should know about is going to be, this is on by default, depending on your carrier. So I just have the original on here, but sometimes you will also have face on already. What this is it applies a lot of filters to people's faces, including getting rid of wrinkles or acne, or kind of smoothing your overall face, changing the contrast or tone of your skin tone, then kind of thinning out your jawline, making you lose those 5 pounds like that, and giving you big anime eyes. So if you want any of those on by default, you can, but I just turn them off. Obviously might be more beneficial in the selfie mode, which in the selfie mode is always on by default coming out of most Samsung smartphones. All right, then you are going to also want to turn motion photos on typically. What this does is it takes some photos before and some photos after so that you get the perfect capture every time. Then on the 3x4, just so you know, you can also change the aspect ratio. So besides the regular 3x4, you can shoot in 16:9 or in 1:1. So if you want to shoot in a more YouTube video kind of photo, maybe to blend in with a video, that would be perfect. Or if you want to shoot in 1:1, you can as well. So those are going to be the different types of photos. Then you have your flash and your timer. So pretty self-explanatory there. And now we dive into all of these settings. So first off, I would turn on shot suggestion. It just typically helps you line up the photo a little bit better. Swipe to burst, so you can actually swipe down on the shutter button and either take a lot of photos or take a GIF, up to you which way you want to go with that. Then on advanced picture taking, make sure these two are off unless you really know what you're doing here. This version of photos is really not supported on most platforms yet, so I still don't recommend anyone use it. And then this is RAW format, very large files, but if you want to edit and know a lot about editing, then you want RAW files. Now, save selfies as previewed is very important because it makes a difference on your selfie text being legible. Let me show you what I mean. So as you can see on my phone, this is already off, but on your phone, it might come on by default. And what this means is when it's off, it is going to look good. Look at that. You can read the text very nice and easy. However, when it comes by default on, this is what you get. And that isn't good because you can't read your text on any of your selfies. So I definitely recommend always having it off just to have a much better experience. So do not take selfies saved as previewed. Have it the way it should be, flipped around. And then moving on from selfies, for auto frames per second, I do recommend this one and also video stabilization on. It's just gonna be a better experience for video taking. And speaking of which, for advanced video taking options, I do typically recommend turning that off. Again, the whole idea behind this is if it is on, you are recording in a different format, which isn't supported by a lot of social media still. For instance, I know for a fact I tried TikTok the other day and that one still didn't do like AV1 formatting. So there are certain ones that do not take HVEC, which is a different type of format. And again, just wouldn't recommend it. These two are gonna be good if you know, again, it's a bit about the video taking ability and how to edit it. Same with the 3D audio recording. I would have that off by default. And then if you have Bluetooth earphones that do 360 audio and that have that same kind of format, it's good, but or else it's just gonna be stereo. Now this has to deal with the main screen and flex mode and preview. I would just have it as is, so it's easy to take photos when you have it closed. Then finally, in shooting modes, these are gonna be settings you want to have on, so always voice command, have it on. Floating shutter button, I'll show you how that goes, and then palm just means you can hold up your hand and it will take a photo or a video. And then of course you can choose what the volume rocker does. Now for floating shutter button, I really like this because what you have is a shutter button that you can move around and place wherever you need to in order to take good photos. So if you're ever trying to get that odd angle just like this, boom, you have the ability to do so. So I really like that, and then you can just put it back when you're done with it. Very simple and easy. And then settings to keep, I usually recommend keeping the selfie angle the most, just because when you want to always shoot a selfie, I recommend always having the wider version, which we'll get to in a second when we get to selfies. Everything else I have off because I might change my mind or change what I feel like doing the next time. All right, and then we have a new feature called Camera Assistant. Now this is not available when you first get the phone. You have to go to the Galaxy store, so right here, and you have to get two apps to get this. The first one is Good Lock. This is basically the best app you can possibly get for the Flip 5. It just honestly makes your entire phone experience so much better. I highly recommend it. Basically, a lot of things you've been seeing me do, like swiping from the left and switching between apps, all this stuff is a part of Good Lock. It makes your phone absolutely much, much better. Then once you have Good Lock, there are so many features here. I recommend watching one of my previous videos on Good Lock where I explain a lot of these features. But one thing that's come in the previous 2 years has been this ability of Camera Assistant. So you'll tap it, and if it's not already downloaded, which most likely it won't be, it will have you download it from the Galaxy Store. Simple and easy, but definitely powerful. So once you have this, you do have a bit more of features you can kind of do, especially when it comes to what do you prioritize. Focus over speed should always be the priority. Focus is more important than the speed itself. And then from here, then you want to choose quality or speed or balance is what I recommend for most people. But if you do have a preference and you are okay with sometimes your photos being slightly slower because of the quality, then that can happen. If you're okay with it being slightly not as crisp as you would like, then speed would happen. That's why it's a hard decision to make, so I usually keep it right in the middle. All right, and then we move over to video mode. And the main thing you want to know about this mode is two sections, and that is right here and right here. So first off, you have different video files types you can shoot with, and I always like to do 1080p at 60 frames per second or 4K at 60 frames per second. 4K at 60 frames per second is the best mode this phone can shoot, but you lose certain features that you're not able to have. So for instance, if I bring it up all the way to the top, and then I want to use steady shot, which uses the ultra wide camera to give me a better stabilization if I'm really shaking and moving, you'll see that it switches back down to full HD at 30. So that is a limitation of this phone compared to, say, the Ultra series, where it can at least shoot 1080p at 60. It's something you should know about. The steady shot is more limited on this one than some of the other ones. Overall, though, still a great quality, and your video quality will be top notch for clarity when shooting in 4K at 60. And then when you have stabilization is more the priority, you're going to have a really stable shot at standard rate. Now, important thing to note, because this does use the ultra wide camera, it's not the best in low light for the steady shot. And then finally, for other modes, the one I should just recommend you guys also know about is going to be food mode. Is one of my favorites for slow motion. You typically want to do regular slow motion, then super slow motion. Super slow motion is slower for a dramatic effect, but this one is 1080p and this one's 720, and trust me, this one is the better recommended one every time. And the last thing we have in here is director's view, and this one is really important because it allows you to film yourself while you're recording something else. So this I really like, and one, you can have it saved as one video or have it saved separately as two different videos. So depending on what you like, I like it all as one video, and then you can even do different things like split screen instead. So have it be completely split screen, and that will make for a very unique looking experience. I typically go this route just because it's what we used to have back in the day, and I just like for myself to be in the video. If I'm talking about something, you can still see me while seeing what I'm talking about. All right, then finally we do flip over to the front camera. So with this one, you can, again, always do a wider shot, so that's what I recommend just being able to do. Have that palm up so you can take your selfie. Very simple and easy, but again, I recommend turning off this filter that's on by default. So just bam, nice and easy. And you can also change your color tone, whether you like it natural or warmer. I'm partial to both, to be quite honest. It depends on who I'm taking a photo with. That's the most important part to me. All right, guys, and the last part I just want to go over quickly is portrait. Now, portrait is a really great way to take amazing looking photos. The main thing I would change, though, is if you switch this mode, go ahead and tap this button and put that down to like 3 or 2. It makes a much better photo, as it's a little too strong and fake looking when you bring it all the way up to 5. So I would do 2 or 3 as a standard, and then you can do all kinds of fun modes too. You can change it into different perspectives, black and white, drop down color, or my favorite, color point. Make everything else black and white and make this thing in color. And then the final thing, of course, because this is a flip phone, you do have the ability to tap this little icon right here, and bam, you can show another person a preview of what your photo is going to look like. So I really like that, just because you really have that ability just to show them, hey, this is what the photo is going to look like. They can see it pose better, in my opinion, than normal. And with that, of course, when you are on here, you can double press the camera and then have the ability to shoot a photo like that, or shoot a video. So it's really nice just to be able to kind of switch between them. You have photo, video, and portrait to be able to shoot just like this. But all right, guys, those were all the helpful tips and tricks for the Galaxy Z Flip 5. Let me know which one was your favorite, and if you want to see a more in-depth video on how to edit the photos and videos on here. Thank you as always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Also, follow me on social media at YouTube Tech Guy. And check out some more great tech videos on your screen right now.